Hello everyone, this is Steve Hermann, author of Mediumship Mastery, the ultimate guide, available on Amazon. I love mediumship, I love teaching mediumship and working with it and helping other people to develop, which is what we're going to be doing in this brief video. A lot of people have a lot of problems when it comes to clairaudience. Not everyone hears voices, and sometimes when someone does hear voices, what happens? They end up telling the wrong people, and the next thing you know, they're in some institution or medicated by their physician. But when we talk about mediumship, being able to hear sounds from the world of the spirit is fantastic. It's going to greatly enhance your mediumship if you're able to do this. You can hear names, you can hear an explosion, you can hear music, a dog barking, any sound that you can hear with your physical ears. Well, when you start to open up with clairaudience, you'll be able to hear the same types of sounds that you'd hear here in the physical world from those in the world of the spirit. And it's very nice because the loved ones or communicators in the spirit world who come through, they can literally give you complete sentences in their own words. Complete sentences, sometimes even with their own intonation, their own accent, sometimes even another language being spoken. So you might feel, oh my gosh, I'm not that open that way. My clairvoyance is good. My clairsentience is fantastic. My claircognizance is pretty good. But the smelling and tasting isn't that bad. But hearing? Oh, I have such a problem with that. I hear this a lot from the students I work with. Some people are very intimidated with the idea of clairaudience. Now, I'll tell you this. If we go back in the history of spiritualism, it was pretty much very experimental. Experimental in terms of the individuals studying mediumship and opening up with it, but also highly experimental with those in the spirit world who were helpers or specialists who worked facilitating the development of people here in this physical world. So what would be a very good method of clairaudient enhancement or development that I highly recommend, and this was something, if you go back into the 1800s, into the 19th century, was utilized as an approach to developing clairaudience. And what a lot of the mediums would do in this particular period is they would obtain a very large conch shell. Very large conch shell. If you put your ear up to a conch shell, what do you hear? You hear the sound of the ocean, don't you? Well, you just listen to it. Now, I don't actually own a conch shell myself. And you don't have to own a conch shell to do this exercise. I've got this bottle right here, empty jar of spaghetti sauce. And I've also got this metal cup. So, we've got the metallic and we've got the glass. Glass works pretty well, but so does the metallic. You put it up to your ear like this. Now, I can hear inside the space, very similar to what you would experience with a conch shell. The same general idea. And when you're sitting in the power, when you're sitting in the silence and connecting with the world of the spirit, try doing this. You can even ask questions. Ask your guides questions. Just listen to the silence. Don't get caught up so much on the results, like, oh, I've got to hear something. Because when you start thinking of it like that, oh, I've got to hear something, that's when you're automatically just going to block things from happening. We've got the metal one. And similarly, you listen. And you can hear within the silence, within the sound of the ocean, you might hear within the conch shell. That's when you're going to mentally start to be able to hear the voices of those in spirit. And you can really try with both ears, experiment with this. Now, you don't just want to do this once or twice for a short period of time or even a long period of time. What I suggest you do is that you try to do this on a regular basis. Shorter intervals educationally in terms of learning and enhancement, I would recommend over than doing it for a long period. But experiment with it. Sometimes when mediums used to receive clairaudience, they would cup their hand and they would put it over their ear this way to hear. There's two different types of clairaudience. There's objective clairaudience. And I think a lot of you probably have experienced that. You wake up at 5 in the morning half asleep and you can hear these voices. Sometimes they're outside of your head. Sometimes they're in your head. And it can sound as though it's spoken, almost distorted through a metallic tube inside your head, depending how it comes through. And with objective clairaudience, it sounds like you're hearing it with your physical ears. And then, of course, we have the clairaudience, which is really just mental impressions of the sounds or the words within your own mind. Usually that type of clairaudience works in conjunction with your clairaudience and clairsentience, when you might be doing demonstration work or work on a platform within a public situation or even a private session. But I want you to think about trying this out. Do it a little bit, be persistent with it. Do it over a period of the next 3 to 4 months, if not the next year. Put your energy into it. Because what's going to happen is your helpers in the world of the spirit, they will work with you to make this happen. So I hope that all of you will be able to apply this in terms of your own development. Please let me know how things go. Feel free to add your own comments with this. Let me know if you've had success with this. I'm really into the teaching aspect of it. I'm into helping people this way. If you're interested in development, please check out my book, Mediumship Mastery. It's on Amazon. Also, I do, like I say, I teach quite a few online courses via Zoom. I have a lot of in-person ones too. I'm really into helping people and working with people. So thank you all very much, and God bless each and every one of you.